Hello and welcome to Indigo Blue. My name's Jane and I'm one of the design team, and this month I'm going to do 2 cards using a variety of different techniques and things. I'm a card maker. I love making cards and I send cards a lot. So what I've done is I've done a little bit of prep. I've just taken Shepherd's Green, which is one of our acrylic paints, and Yellow Submarine, which again is an acrylic. I think they're both mattes. Yes, that's definitely matte. I'm not sure about Shepherd's Green. Yes, it is. Both of them are mattes, which is nice. And I'm literally just going to, with our spray bottle, very lightly just give a little bit of mist. Now this is our cardstock, which is incredibly smooth and is really good for doing different techniques in. You just have to treat it gently because it's not the same as watercolour, but you can use whatever you want. So I've got a wide brush and I'm literally just loading that up, and all I want to do is to just do some lines across it. So I'm just going to take the lines in across like that. Might just need a tad more water on here, and again on here. So I'm just taking some, as I say, just some sort of streaky lines through here. I'm just going to wet my brush again before I pick up the green, and then with the green I'm going to take it through on the centre. Because what I want to do is to just do it fine enough so we've got a nice sort of background in on there in the 2 colours, but not. So if I bring this across, you can see how the yellow is coming through, but you're not saturating your paper. Okay. Now, because I've got a little bit left on here, what I want to do is I'm just going to go down on, I was thinking of going down on the side, but I think, yes, I am actually. So I'm just going to take it from the side down like this. Turn it round. Take it on that side. And as I say, I can pick up some more water because I don't want it to be, and then I can just take it across on the bottom as well. Again with this, I'm just picking up the last bit of colour because I want it to be quite spring-like, a hint of spring. Okay, so that's given us the back of that. Now I've just got a bit of a cloth, put that in there. And I'm going to just wipe that off and take this off just for a minute and just wipe my surface down. Because we don't want everything too wet, because as I say, this isn't water. You can use water card, but I like our cardstock. It's beautiful quality, great for stamping on, and you can use it for techniques like this. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take some, I've got some, here we go, I've got some of our lovely gesso black. Oh, it's just a beautiful, beautiful black. Now what I want to do with this is I'm just going to give it a shake, and the reason I do that is that you then get quite a lot that sits in the lid, and you can just take it. This is a brand new pot, so I've only used it a couple of times, and you can see how much you get in here. I think it needs to, there you go. Yes, you get lots in there, so it's a really good value. Okay, so I'm going to take the same brush Might as well use the same brush. I'm going to dry it off a bit because I don't want the other colours on there. And then I'm going to take some of this, put it again on the block. Now you can use whatever you want. I've got all sorts of things that I use as blocks, but I like something that I can see what I'm doing. So again, I'm just going to do a couple of squirts. Well, maybe 3 or 4, because all of the paints and gesso and everything are so concentrated that you can get such a lot out of it. So I'm just going to make this a bit wetter. And then what I want to do is on each one of these, I am just going to brush it along the side. So I want to get the brush marks coming down. So if you just do a sort of a strokey motion like this, you get a really nice sort of just a little look. And you're going to have fatter ones and thinner ones, unless you're incredibly precise, which I'm not, but I kind of like that look. I think that looks really nice. So that's that one. Just move that over on there. And that's why it's quite good sometimes to do a few at a time, because you've got all of the paint and everything ready, and you can always put these to one side, and then it gives you a background ready for when you want to be doing some more card making, journaling. And you can see this, now it's getting drier, you get a different look to it. You get more of a feathered look, which I quite like. So we're just going to carry on with this. So you get this sort of really nice, just feathered look coming through. Let's turn it around the other way and see what we've got. I'm just hoping to get, yes, I've got enough down on there. So if I wanted a bit more, I could just take it to there. Okay, so that's given us both of those. As you can see, I've got lots of this over, and I only used a tiny little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, I've got a fan brush. So I have 2 different sizes of fan brushes. I like fan brushes to do splatters. I'm not the greatest at doing splatters, so I tend to get it everywhere. With a fan brush, you don't tend to get it quite as much everywhere. So just load up the fan brush both sides, and then I tend to take something like a little stick so I can just get really precise little splots. Okay, then load it up, and it tends to just then go where you want it. Okay, now what I tend to do is I'll turn it round so you can get them coming. Can you see I've got more at the bottom than the top? So by doing that, it means that I can then take from the top again and take it down. Now it's entirely up to you how many splats you do. I kind of like quite a few, and it just gives, on a yellow and green background, it does give a really great colour. Now I've got loads of this over, so what I can do is, because I don't like wasting things, is let me just see if I've got some, I have little bits of card stock and things. Let me just have a look and see if I've got some. Okay, these are just white scraps that I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of these. Probably, let me take a watercolory one actually. I've got a watercolour one on here. I'm just going through and have a look and see what I've got. Put my want a really big one. I just want a little bit of, here we go. Let's just take some, I always leave little bits and pieces in here. So that one might work actually. Let's have a look and see if I've got anything smaller. Here we go. That's what I wanted. Just little scrappy pieces so I can then use them to stamp and cut out on rather than my full sheet. So rather than waste it, I put all my scraps and everything in little celly bags like this and then keep them. So I have all colours. So those are white ones, those are sort of neutrals, and I keep them in little bags so I can then use the little pieces I've got. Okay, so this is like a watercolour one, and I'm literally just going to take this on here so I don't waste any of it, and I'm going to take this brush that I've got and I'm literally just going to I'm going to have to wipe my hands in a minute, but can you see how much further it goes? So that's some black gesso on there, and I can just leave that to just dry. I'm going to have to put it down on the table over here. There's another piece, and can you see how much you're getting just from that one little tiny bit that I put on there? It just lasts and lasts and lasts. And as I say, if you're somebody who doesn't like wasting things like me, use it up. And as I say, this has now given me a nice black background. If you've got any of the woodology that you need gessoing, again, it's a good time to just use little bits like that. So that's two pieces, and then this is just a little white piece, but again, it's going to be slightly different. Let me just take it up from there. And I can just give it a, can put it down on there for a minute. Just give it a paint up, and there we have some nice, once it's dried. I've got 3 pieces to work with for a later time, and then all I need to do is to just give this a quick spray and then wipe this down. There we go. And I've got bits of black on my hands, but that's one of the nice things, isn't it? Whenever you're doing card making or whenever you're doing anything, I always get messy. It's part of the craft. So I'm literally just with a heat tool just going to dry this off a little bit because I want to be able to work with it, particularly around the edges. Now if it was you, I'd just sit and put it to one side and leave it for, you know, 10 minutes or so. Just let it dry. Now some of these pieces here, the splats, will take a little bit longer to dry, and what I might do is just get a little bit of kitchen towel and just dab them so it's not quite that. In fact, bear with me one second. Here we go, I've got a piece here. So all I'm going to do is just dab that on here so I don't have too much, and just round the edge. It's almost dry, but I want it to be dry enough to be able to do the next bit. And I just need to bend it just a little bit because obviously it will slightly go because I heated it with the heat gun. You can do the other side. You are going to get a little bit of a buckle, but that's because I didn't wait. So we can put this to one side for the moment, and we're going to get some stamps out. So the stamp set I'm using this time is this one, Stitch Squares. Absolutely love it because you've got all of these different squares and the most beautiful daisy. I love it. And the never give up, and I like to go never ever 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 give up, so we might use some of the words in on there. I've just taken the 3 squares out at the moment, And you know, I said I had scraps and bits and pieces like that, so I'm just going to take some different scraps of different colours that I've got, and this is where you don't need to use big pieces. You can just use little tiny bits and bobs and stuff that you've got. So I've got quite a bit of orange. That's quite a nice colour in there. We'll have that one. And then let me have a look. That's why I have different tones of colours in on there. Because it's going to be sort of spring-like, I might use get some greens out. And we can have a little bit of green. And maybe that's sort of a bluey green, isn't it? Let's try that one. Now I just need to get our Thin Lizzies, which I keep up hanging on a little hook, and we can have that one can go in on there, and these can go in on there. Maybe I'll have to have I'm gonna have to wanted to try and be clever and put them on two, which I think I might, so I can do two at a time, because this is all about trying to save space. Okay, I think that'll work. So I'm just going to use some VersaFine ink. I use the VersaFine or the VersaFine Clair all the time because it's very fine, and because our stamps are so detailed, you want to be able to do something that is really fine. Okay, so I'm literally just inking those up, and then we'll have, let's have one on here first of all. So I'm just gonna put that one on there, and we'll have this one on there, which is nice. So that'll do with those. Let's have this blue one and do the same thing. Ink those up, and I can put this in on here like that. I'm going to have this one, I'll put it this way, I think, like that. And then I've got a little bit of green. Now I don't think I'll get all of the, I don't know whether I want any more of the little ones. I could do with a big one, but I think it'll only be that size on there. That'll do. That'll do just about. See if I can get, I don't think I can get a big one. Maybe I can get a big one in on the yellow, because these are literally just scrappy pieces. That'll do. And that'll do. So as I say, you know, use your scraps and pieces of paper that you've got. I just need to clean my stamp off now. Just give it a clean off. I like to keep my stamps looking good because they will last my lifetime easily if you look after them. And right, I can put those away in a minute. I'm just going to stick those up on there. So we now have these, and then what I want to do is I just want to cut them out. So I'm just going to, and because we're doing it in sort of squarey pieces, it's going to be quite easy to just cut them out. I don't need to have all of the stringy pieces, as it were, around on there. So I can just cut them out as a rough square. but they give a nice sort of look. So you can see on here I'm just cutting it round, and then I can cut that one down to there, and that little one to there. That's two. Let's take some of these sort of bluey ones. And they're a nice easy shape to cut out. I know that some people absolutely hate fussy cutting. I don't mind it. I have glasses now for fussy cutting, because it's one of those things, as you get older your eyesight doesn't get as good. And I think it's probably because I've been working under lights doing crafting for so many years that I think my eyesight has decided to not be at its best. But you can get some really nice like the reading glasses that really are just like magnifying glasses. I didn't realize you could do this until I actually bought my first pair. Oh my goodness, they made everything really good. It meant that I could literally do fussy cutting like that. I can see exactly what I'm doing, and it works really well. So if you are struggling, I mean, obviously go to the opticians if you need to, but you can pick up these glasses for next to nothing, and they're just like magnifying glasses. So magnifying glasses you put on your head, which means that you can actually see what you're trying to do. So we've done these ones. I'm going to do all of them because I don't know what I'm going to use, and if I don't use them, I just put them in the case that I store my stamps in, and I get my little plastic wallets from the Works because they are only £1 for like 4 or so of them. So see, like this, and you can store them in. You see I've already got a couple in there, so I store anything that I don't use in the back with the stamp, and then it means that if I'm coming out to do something, I can turn around and go, oh yes, I've got some of those, I'll use that colour, or I'm not going to use that colour. And if you're doing something, it means that you've then probably got some of the pieces over, rather than keeping them in a separate box. If you keep them with the stamps, then when you go to get the stamp out, you've got some little bits of your own personal ephemera and stuff ready to go. So that's why I'm going to take my time cutting these out. Well, I'm not, I'm doing it really quickly, but we don't need to worry about that too much, because it's literally, you don't have to have it. Having all of these different shapes and sizes means that you don't have to have them absolutely perfectly square, because they are not designed to be perfectly square, if you see what I mean. So we've only got 2 more to do, so we're almost there. And as I say, they're just quite fun. Now, you can go round and sponge all the edges. I'm not going to, because it will take too long. And you've already seen me spending time cutting these out. But if you want to, sponge around the edges in whatever colour you want, coordinating, or you could do it in the black gesso. Right. So yes, those are my glasses. They're literally just like magnifying glasses, which are absolutely perfect for me. Right, so again, waste not, want not. I'm just going to take this piece off. That will go back into my scrap bag. That will go back into my scrap bag because I didn't use it. These pieces are a bit small. I could take that one. It depends how extreme you want to be. I take the bigger pieces because, again, if I want to put some words or something and back it, I've got little pieces to do that with. Okay, so let me just take my spray bottle out, whoops, spray bottle out of the way, and put the glasses out of the way because I don't think I'll need them. Right, now these should have dried out a bit now. Yes, perfect. So I have got card bases for these. What did I do with them? You know when you put them out of the way so they don't get mucky and then you can't remember where you've put them? Well, I've just done that. Never mind, I'll get the pieces out that I want to anyway. So from this one, you know I said the flower. I've got the flower and I've literally just coloured that and cut that out. I've got some more of these in different colours, so they can go down in there. And again, if you only got white paper, just use alcohol markers or something like that and just colour over them. So those are going to be my bases. I will actually have to get some more bases out, I think, because I can't think what I've done with them. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take some of these and we're just going to make sure we've got the words the right way round. And I'm literally just placing them in just sort of roughly, because I want some of the little ones to come in between. It's quite a nice one, isn't it? That's a little one. Put that one there. And we'll have a big one here. It's a bit too blue, isn't it? Let's put some of these blues down on here. And this is where you can just sort of mix and match a bit. Make sure I've got the words going the right way up. That's quite a nice one, isn't it? I'll put that one there. We can have this one. Can come up there. The right way around. And then I've got these lovely little ones here as well. That's quite a nice one, isn't it? That's quite a small one. I haven't got any green on this one. So let's put the green there. To put that blue in on there. And then we've got these little tiny ones on here, which would work quite well. Do I put this green? Yes, I'm going to put that one there. Put the green one down there. Is that the right way up? Yep. Then I've got these little blue ones, which I can just probably dot about. This is where you like, I just want it to be not too uniform. And then you turn around and go, actually, maybe it's going to be a little bit on there. I don't want that colour, actually. That's quite a nice one in here. Maybe one like that there. Maybe one like that there. So that's got that there. And this one probably just maybe about like that. Okay, so that's given us the shapes we want. Then I've got these different flowers. So I've got this one that I could put literally just over on the centre there. And I've got this, I've got 3 of these. So I think I'm probably going to do one there, one there, and one there. Okay, so that will then give me the look. Then I can just put whatever words I want on there. So I've got, I like the never give up, and I would put never ever ever give up because I quite like that. So I'd put that in on top. So let me just get, I'm going to have to get another card base out because I can't for the life of me see what I did with it unless I've put it up on here underneath some of these colours. I don't know. Whoops, don't want that in my water. I literally just got it all out and ready, and I can't, here we go. I knew I'd put it somewhere safe. Right, so this is going to be a DL card. So we can put this on here. So let's take all of that off and we're going to put that one on there first. So I'm just going to now straighten it out a bit. And I've got some of our little bottles to put the glue in, and I can use those. So I'm just going to, if I can get that up, probably need to get a little bit. Should have had it the other way up, shouldn't I? With a bit of luck it should come down. These are quite nice. It means that you get a little tiny bit that comes just on there on the top. So while that's waiting to come down, let me put that on there like that. So this gives me I can put my glue in there and then it can go down, but while I'm at it I will just use a little bit of the other glue so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to have this one in on here like that, and I just need to have it in on the top. That should. Now quite often I will turn round and put it this way up and give it a rub that way, because then you're not rubbing on your edges too much and it's easier to set it straight. Now I'm going to put this on there. Now I know I've put my colours in, but if I haven't got the colours in the right place, then it doesn't really matter that much, because I can do it all again, if you see what I mean. And hopefully the glue will have gone down to the other side. So let me put this one in on. Oh, make sure my card's opening the right way. Yes, it is. So that can go in on there. So we end up with 2 for 1. Or you can just leave it to one side, but I thought I would do 2 for 1 because, as I say, I'm somebody who I send cards a lot. So okay, so let's start putting these bits in. Hopefully that will now have gone down to the end, which should be good. That's so that it's not, put it that way up. Right, so we wanted just need to make sure it's the right way. There we go. So I want this one to go just up here. And we'll have a yellow. And the good thing about our glue is you don't need to use too much of it. It goes, a little goes a long way. So I'm using that one, Grab and Go. Which is, it's a good strong glue. Does what it says, it grabs and goes. Make sure I've got these the right way up. Like that. Now I'm mixing and matching without really concentrating, aren't I? I think I'm going to have a little orange one on here. So let's put that one that way. And then we'll have another big one here. So that can go there, which is good. Quite like that. I think that blue one was in on the other side, wasn't it? Let's take these out of here for a minute. So while I'm down to there, I'm going to start on this side, because otherwise what's going to happen is I'm going to end up with too many of the wrong colour, and what I should have done was to have just kept them as they were. So let me just put that one that way. And we can have this one. Like that. I love these squares, I really do. I think they're just such fun because they give you a real... Now we're going to have a green in on here, I think. Because we haven't got... That's another green there, like that. So I'm going to have an orange on here. I keep thinking I'm bound to put it upside down with the words, so I'm making sure that I have my words the right way around. Let me take my little flowers out of the way, and then we can put what we're going to... I like that blue, actually. It's quite a nice blue, isn't it? So we'll have... That's quite a nice blue there, actually. Let's put it there. We've got... I can see there's an orange one there. We'll have our green here. And that's why I do a few, because then you can mix and match your colours as you want them. That's quite a nice one to go in on there. So that can go there. And then on this side we'll just have that blue, I think, because we haven't got one of them. So we'll have a blue just in on there like that. Okay, now I can get another orange on here, and then we've got our little ones, haven't we? And that's why I said you need to do enough that you can play around with the colours and things. Let's take these flowers out of the way for a minute. Right, now we've got these squares, haven't we? Quite like that there. Let's put that one there like that. Quite like that coming up from there. And then we'll put this one. I might actually take that right up the top. Should I take that to there? Or to there? To there, I think. I'm just going to take it in like that. Quite like that sort of just diamond effect. So this one can come in like this against that blue one on there. And then this one, so we've got those sort of matching in, and these will match with those two blues that just happen to be in the right place. Now this wasn't planned at all, but it just sort of works a bit, doesn't it? Let's straighten that up just a little bit. Doesn't want to, that's fine. Okay, so now I need to, you need to make sure that you just dip it in some water first before you put this in, to make sure that that's such a very fine little nozzle. So you need to make sure that you've got that. Now I've got one over, but I don't need that, so that can go back in its case. And then I've got this one which I've painted slightly darker, so that's going to go in on the centre there. And then these three are going to go 1, 2, 3, like that. And I'm literally just going to glue them down. Take that round on there. Make sure I do the little edges for this because it's quite delicate and we want it to go. So that's going to come right down in the center like that. Love these little daisies, just absolutely adore them. I think there's nothing nicer than they're such a sunny flower, aren't they? Smiley, pretty flowers. They just are beautiful. So we want this one so it doesn't come. That's better. So it's going to come so it just misses that little bit there. This is going to go in on the center. Like that. And then this one can come in down on the bottom. Like that. And again, just so that you've got the little arch of the leaf just coming in over the top. Okay, so that's that on there, which is good. And then all I want to do is to do the words. So never, ever give up is what I want on there. So I've got this on here now. Have I got any little white bits that are over? Let me get my white scrappy bits out again and see. One of these will work. That's quite a thick one. I don't think I want one that big. So let me just get my bits of card out and see something which is, that's an envelope. That'll do, won't it? Yes, we can get enough on there, I think. So let's take that out. So as I say, every little piece that I end up cutting off of something that I'm doing, I keep it because then I can use it for all sorts of things. And then, as I say, you're not wasting it. So let me take, I'm going to take this one. I've cleaned them, I just haven't put them back. So let me put this on here because I only want the words. Now we've got the hope at the bottom as well. So I need to make sure that that is on. Don't think it's, where does it come? Just having a look and see. The hope, oh, the hope comes right at one side, doesn't it? Okay, so I might have to do it in at an angle like that. Because I only want hope once, but I want the evers a few times. So let me find, here's my glue. Thought it had hidden somewhere. So let's just do one like this on that way. So I've got the hope in on there. Yep. And then I just want another ever, which is going to be, there's an ever down the bottom, isn't there? So can I get that in on there, that way? It's the one I want it. That's it. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly clean this one off, because as I say, I do it as I go because I love these stamps and I want them to last, as I say, my lifetime, as I keep saying. Okay, so I've only done it once because I'm only going to do it on one for you, but you can do it on as many as you want. So let's just cut this up into little pieces. So we've got the hope in here. Which is just down at the bottom. So we can just put a hope down there. So it doesn't matter which one you're going to do it on, but and then I'm going to have the never. And again, sponge around the side if you want to. I'm not going to because I want it to stand out. So let's put that in on there. So we've got never, ever, so never, ever, and we'll have another ever, because I like it that way around. And that's the nice thing about words, you can play around with them as you want. So that's what I really like. So never, ever, ever give up. I think I'll have the give up together. Give up. And then we'll put the hope in on there. Okay. So that's how I would end that one. But you can see you've done 2 cards using just the one stamp set and some of our acrylic paints and some of our black gesso. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.